Hey, F5 community, Aubrey here with DevCentral. I am here to bring you another step-by-step lab. This time, what we're going to do is we are going to create what's called an SBOM, or Software Bill of Materials, for a container that we're running in our laboratory environment. Then, after that, we are going to ingest our SBOM in an SBOM platform that's open source called Dependency-Track, which is made available by OWASP Foundation. We're going to be generating our SBOMs with another open source utility called Trivy, which I find pretty funny because it is really trivial to use Trivy to generate your SBOMs. In this lab, we're going to go ahead and bring up Dependency-Track in a container. We're going to install Trivy on our lab system, and then we are going to use a Python script that I wrote to connect with the Dependency-Track API and push up the file that we created using Trivy. This will allow us to go into Dependency-Track and take a look at our system to find out if there are any vulnerabilities that are known on that system. This is just to get you started in this process, but I think you'll see that it's very, very easy to break down your visualization for these potential threats by project quite easily. Okay, so I'm going to be running this lab in our UDF environment. You're free to do it on your desktop or something like that, but just to let you know, because I'm not going to have the same kind of URIs that you might find if you run this on your desktop or some such. Of course, if you come to one of our live labs or attend one of our online labs at DevCentral, you will be familiar with UDF, and you'll be able to do this at some point in the future. Okay, so I've got to bring up my desktop now, and you can see that the UDF environment is here and shared. First thing that we're going to want to do is go to our backend server. Our backend server is the one that we are going to inspect. So we want to make sure that there's something there to inspect. I'm going to go ahead and install Ollama from a previous lab of ours on here and have some models that are downloaded just to make sure that we've got something that is fresh installed and ready to go. So first thing in our lab, we go ahead and set the NVIDIA to run it within the Docker runtime. So your Docker containers are able to access NVIDIA. In addition to that, we want to make sure that we go ahead and restart Docker because it has to be restarted. Next, we're going to just change into our Ollama directory to run a Docker compose. And if I take a look here, we do have a compose YAML, right? You can see that this here is just setting up the ports that we want to run our container on, a little bit of stuff about the environment, and what image we're going to use, plus what networks it has access to. Docker compose, so good, right? So here we go. We're going to run the compose, and then we will have an Ollama container running in our environment. Okay, so we've got that container started. We're going to go ahead and curl Ollama to make sure that it is actually running on the local host. So Ollama is in fact running. Now that we've got Ollama running, we want to make sure that we install Trivy on this machine because we're going to use Trivy to create an SBOM for this. Now, the easiest way to install Trivy is, at least from my perspective, is going ahead and downloading the latest installation script for Trivy, and then utilizing snap to go ahead and install the latest installation of Trivy. So we have downloaded Trivy, and now it is installed. So if I do a Trivy-V, here I have a version. That's right. And we are ready to get going and move deeper into the lab. Next up, I think we want to switch over to our application server and get on Dependency-Track. So if I go here to my application server, that's the 10114 address, we're going to go ahead and do the manual method here just so we get all the steps in order. You can, of course, do this by using Docker Compose as well. But for me, I like to see each of the parts of it just to get the idea. First thing we want to do is pull a bundled version of Dependency-Track. What is that and how is that different from the standard version of Dependency-Track? Well, typically, Dependency-Track relies on a backend database, which you have to have configured and replicated and all that fun stuff, optimized for speed and things. The bundled version is going to let you get going in a very easy way. Okay, it's trivial, again, to get that started. and get that up and functional in your laboratory environment. So here we go. We're going to pull this dependency track and then we'll get to it. Fantastic. Now that that is all installed, we're going to go ahead and create a volume for dependency track so that if we need to crush this container or, hey, upgrade, right? We just download the latest container and we've already got all of our dependency track information on our Docker volume. I love Docker volumes for that reason. Next up, we're going to go ahead and run our brand new container. Et voila, up and running. Next up, we're going to log into dependency track and do some initial configuration of our admin account, as well as generating an API key for use later. We want to make sure that we can communicate with dependency track via API. That is much, much, much stronger than actually uploading a file from your desktop. And we're going to define a project and version number so that we can have the entire project in mind, and we can easily add systems to it project by project as we uncover more and more pieces of our environment. Okay, so I've brought up dependency track in my other tab. That's right, we have one predefined, and your URI won't look like this. It'll look like whatever you're running it on's IP address :8080. So here I go. I'm going to admin an admin, right? Ultra super secret, like we're used to. It has you change, your admin password the minute you log in, which is fantastic. I'm going to keep my username the same. My current password is admin. My new password is going to be something else that you don't know, and I'm not going to tell you or give any hints at all. No prize will be awarded in the slightest for guessing that password. Okay, so here we go. I've changed my password, and here I gotta log in with my new super secret password that I just set, and I'm not saving the login. Okay, here's a completely unconfigured dependency track. So we need to get an API key for our project. What we're gonna do here is go down to administration and go down to access management. Now, notice there's no API keys thing here. It's broken down by teams. So I need to select the team that I want to do something for. I am going to use the admin account. Best practice would be to use another account, but in the interest of time and showing you this stuff, we're going to do that. Now, you see down here, there's a little plus sign. I can do a new API key. So I'm going to do a new API key for administrators, and that pops up a new window which displays my key momentarily, allowing me to write it down somewhere else, right? That is what we need to do. So I have put this elsewhere. It's the only time I'm going to see this key, right? So click OK, and then we're going to go back to our projects page because we're done. It was that simple. We created a brand new API key. We can now code using that authentication mechanism. Under projects, we also need to create a project. I'm going to call this project Ollama Lab. Okay, and then the classifier for this is going to be, since we installed Ollama as a container, we're going to have a container. Perfect. Now the team, you can put this on a different team if you want to. Administrators is exactly what we're going to keep here. That's not a necessary thing. So version, okay, we're gonna say that this is 1.0.1 of the Ollama Lab project, and it is the latest version of the project. We want to make sure that we know that. Okay, so now we have created this, and you can see here that we have a project. We have an overview, components of it, and services, dependency graph, audit vulnerabilities, and exploit protections. So we also have a nice score here, which is easy to see for that container. And the idea here is we're going to be able to understand what kinds of CVEs, right? That's what we're looking for. What kinds of CVEs this container has lurking within it. And I don't mean just the Ollama software itself. I mean all of the dependencies that Ollama depends on. We're going to make sure that all of those dependencies have no CVEs on them. And if they do, if by some chance the ncurses library is compromised and it ends up being updated in our lab, we will know because we have an automated scan at that point going on in our Ollama lab environment. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to actually taking our SBOM. Like, we want to make sure that we create an SBOM on the system. Then we're going to use a Python script that I wrote to connect to Dependency-Track via the API and upload the SBOM that we create using the Trivy command. Okay, so we're back on my target machine where I want to scan this container. I'm in an SBOM directory that I just created. Okay, so we need to make sure that we know our image name, which in this case is Ollama. We get that from running Docker PS. Then we want to issue our Trivy command, which specifies that we want to scan an image and that the format of that image will be CycloneDX, which is the OWASP standard that I consider to be most useful for things like artificial intelligence understanding. Also, we have to specify that we want to use vulnerability scanning. The image name is Ollama/Ollama, and then an output file of Ollama_lab.cdx.json. So I'm going to run it and get back to you as soon as we can. Fantastic. Okay, we finished up our run, and for quick reference, that took from 1659 to 1700. Not bad. 1 minute to make our file. So if we look here now, our directory has an Ollama_lab.cdx.json. If I run a less on this file here, I can see this looks like regular JSON, plain old JSON, and there's quite a bit of it. So I'm gonna quit out of this, and next thing we're gonna want to do is move on to going ahead and uploading this to Dependency-Track so we can look at it. We're going to do that using an API, I said. So here's what we need to do. I'm just going to use VI quick and dirty. This is going to be DT upload as a script .py because we're going to be using Python. Okay, I'm going to insert this here, and I'm going to go ahead and paste in my script. Okay, boy, that was fast. Let's try that again. All right, I got a 200 response and a token. That's exactly what I expected to be. All right, let's finish this thing off and go check out what things look like for us in Dependency-Track. Okay, I've got my Ollama lab here, 101, the latest version with absolutely nothing in it. I'm going to reload the page and we're going to take a look. There it is. Look at that. We have the latest version. We actually do have data. It may not look like anything yet, but we have a bunch of components here. All of them are green because they all passed because we just downloaded and installed all of the latest software, which doesn't tend to have vulnerabilities right out of the gates. Usually you don't install something fresh and it's already got a 0 day. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. That's why we do this. But you can see here, these are the exact files that I have. I've got apt on that. I've got the base files for Ubuntu on that as well, -debconf. All this is my system. This is everything that I've got in my container. And we see that we've got 15 pages of this, okay? We have tons of data about this system now. So I hope this was a useful lab for you. I think that if nothing else, it enables you to go forth and make sure that you are aware of what software is in your environment to make sure that you have yourself covered in terms of threats that might be creeping up on you without your knowing it. I'm Aubrey from DevCentral, and you've just tuned into another step-by-step lab. I'll see you around.